These fights are what turned Dakota Ditcheva into one of the most feared rising stars in MMA. From dismantling experienced opponents to dominating with ruthless precision, she's built a reputation as an unstoppable force. This is Dakota Ditcheva, the striker who treats violence like an art form. Get ready for hard-hitting, show-stopping action. No hesitation, no mercy. Every time she steps into the cage, she chooses violence. Dakota Ditcheva made her professional debut on April 10, 2021 at Cage Steel 25, where she wasted no time stopping Jenny Lint in emphatic fashion. Just 5 months later, she delivered another first-round finish against Carrie Isom at Celtic Gladiator 30, showcasing her speed, timing, and killer instinct. Momentum kept building. At UKFC 17, Dakota caught international attention by extending her streak of first-round stoppages with a dominant performance against Patricia Boris. Her rise continued at PA FC 1 in Canada, where her first-round finishing run finally came to an end, but not her dominance. Dakota secured a second-round stoppage over Simone Silva, proving she could finish fights beyond the opening minutes. In her final bout before signing with a major promotion, Dakota faced Paula Bristow Court. The fight went the distance, but there was no doubt who controlled the action. Clean strikes, brutal kicks, and relentless pressure left her opponent battered from start to finish. In July 2022, Dakota Ditcheva signed with the PFL. Her promotional debut came against Hasna Gabar, who entered the cage brimming with confidence. Dakota, calm and focused, stayed disciplined as Hasna charged forward with aggressive combinations. Within moments, Dakota adjusted, controlling the range with sharp front kicks and precise counters, once again proving she was built for the big stage. Ditcheva controlled the range early, using her kicks to keep her opponent on the outside. One perfectly timed kick scored a knockdown, and Dakota immediately followed, pressing Hasna against the cage. From the clinch, she unleashed a relentless barrage, punch after punch, breaking her opponent down. A brutal knee to the body sealed the finish. The moment Dakota saw the opening, it was over. The referees stepped in, and the fight was waved off. Coming off that dominant performance, Dakota moved on to face Catherine Corbin at PFL 10, and her rise continued without slowing down. Corbin entered the fight riding a winning streak and full of confidence, believing she was ready to drag Dakota into deep waters. What she didn't realize was the storm waiting in front of her. Dakota claimed the center of the cage immediately, testing the distance with sharp kicks and measured pressure. After a cautious opening exchange, Corbin surged forward with a hard right hand, attempting to force the action. Dakota calmly responded, pushing her back with front kicks and resetting the pace. The two exchanged punches before locking into a clinch where Dakota's strength and control began to show.
Corbin attempted to take the fight to the ground, but it was Dakota who turned the tables, methodically working her opponent down to the canvas. From there, Dakota landed vicious knees to the body with frightening speed, dropping Corbin and closing the show. Even when the fight returned briefly to the feet and Dakota faced a moment of danger, she used the cage intelligently to regain control. In the end, Dakota finished the fight with a first-round knockout, landing crushing shots to the face that left no doubt. Her sense of distance, timing, and composure once again proved elite. On March 25, 2023, at PFL Europe 1, Dakota Ditcheva returned to face Malin Hermansson, unveiling yet another layer to her evolving skill set. Hermansson managed distance well early, chopping at the legs with kicks, but she made one critical mistake. She stepped into the clinch with Dakota Ditcheva. And that's where the danger truly begins. Dakota battered Hermansson with vicious knees to the body and head, pinning her against the cage and refusing to give her space. As Hermansson searched desperately for an escape from the clinch, Dakota slammed her to the canvas and took full control. Hermansson tried to scramble free, but Dakota maintained heavy top pressure, smothering every movement and staying firmly in control. In a last-ditch effort to stand, Hermansson exposed her back, and Dakota made her pay. Calm, calculated, and ruthless, Dakota locked in the submission and secured her first PFL win by tap-out. After the finish, she sent a clear message to the flyweight division. She wasn't just a striker anymore. Anyone who underestimated her grappling would be making a serious mistake. Her next test came against Cornelia Holm, who immediately brought pressure. For the first time in Dakota's career, a fight went beyond the opening round. Holm wasted no time taking Dakota to the ground, but Dakota sprang back to her feet and refused to stay there. After enduring nearly 3 minutes of grinding clinch pressure, Dakota flipped the momentum with ferocious knees up the middle, ending the round trading strikes in close quarters. Round 2 began with Dakota firing a sharp right hand straight to Holm's face. Seconds later, another hard right landed, visibly rattling Holm. Dakota sensed it and went to work, controlling distance, landing kicks to the legs, body, and head. Holmes shot for takedowns, but Dakota was ready, sprawling cleanly and reversing positions to take control on the ground. Even when Dakota allowed Holmes back to her feet, Holmes couldn't complete a takedown. By the third round, Holmes was hesitant, clearly wary of Dakota's kicks. Dakota kept the pressure steady, chopping the legs and targeting the body, slowing Holmes down as the fight wore on. With Holmes unable to escape, Dakota closed the fight strong, landing the final strikes and sealing a dominant decision victory. After the bout, Dakota faced off with her next opponent, Valentina Scatizzi. When the fight began, Scatizzi came forward aggressively, but Dakota immediately broke her down with precise strikes and punishing knees in the clinch. Scatizzi nearly scored a takedown, but Dakota answered with even more brutal knees to the body, ripping away her opponent's gas tank.
Dakota took full control of the clinch, opening up Scatizzi's face with relentless pressure. By the end of the first round, the damage was severe. The fight was stopped due to Scatizzi's injured eye, her own corner stepping in to save her from further punishment. Next came Lisa Malden. The opening moments were cautious, but once Dakota trapped her against the cage, the difference in speed and power was obvious. Dakota unleashed sharp combinations, then dumped Malden to the canvas. Malden managed a brief takedown attempt, but it didn't last. Dakota's body shots were overwhelming, knee after knee, punch after punch, until the referee had no choice but to stop the fight. Another first-round finish. Another warning sent. Dakota Ditcheva wasn't just winning, she was dismantling everyone put in front of her.